Welcome, MBA fans and friends. My name is Nicole Wilson, and I serve as the Vice President of Economic Development with the Midland Business Alliance. I'm joined this morning on this episode of our Investor Spotlight with Wendy Kanar with Poznak, Dyer, Kanar, Schefsky, and Thompson.
Very good.
Did I get them all?
Yes,
Wonderful.
you did.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for joining me today. Really appreciate you making the time.
Appreciate being able to do this. I'm excited.
Yes. This is our first episode here at JNC Media, so a new experience for the both of us.
Very professional, like this.
Yes. Thanks to Josh for making this happen for us today.
Yeah.
I always like to start with, what's your why? So why with your firm? Why law? What really drew you to that profession?
Well, anyone who grew up with me, no one is surprised that I became an attorney. Certainly was always asking why, was always trying to negotiate, was always had something to say. I don't know that I realized it right away. I think other people kind of led me to that. And then the fact that I still love doing it. I love being an advocate for people. And for someone who does personally transactional estate planning type work, you think advocate, but it really is. It's an advocate for people's hopes and dreams. And working with coworkers who are advocates in other ways, you want to stand up for people. And so that's really been my why. I want to be the type of person who can help make things happen.
That's wonderful. Certainly, Midland, we find as a community is very much a service-based or supportive of other people. So that's a perfect fit. And so you're in Midland. You've stayed in Midland. Why Midland?
Well, I came to Midland at 24 years old, freshly out of law school, worked at a restaurant. We were just talking about that, and waited for the bar exam and my bar exam results. I came to Midland because my now husband was working at Dow Gardens, and and so we had a couple of years while I was finishing law school to figure out, are we going to go back to Chicago? Are we going to go to Midland? Where are we going to stay and make our home? Midland really stood out as a place where you can make things happen, because you think, well, yeah, but Chicago too. But it's the perfect size to where you yourself can make a difference. You can be heard. Just about anybody can be heard and make something happen, but it's big enough to find the team you need. It's big enough to have the audience. And it's big enough to have those fresh ideas to add to whatever your plans are. So for Midland, it was a place where we could both make our careers happen, where we could raise a family, where we could navigate through and offer our children experiences and have a good quality of life.
Sure. I absolutely echo that, raising kiddos here in Midland and with Midland Public. So you aren't a native, but I'm sure you've been here long enough to discover or to choose your kind of hidden gem.
Oh, it's hard to pick a hidden gem because there's so many things that I feel like everybody knows about, and then you run into somebody who doesn't know about it yet. And then sometimes gems change. I think about what's happening with Dow Gardens right now.
Sure.
It's not hidden. People come from all over the state, all over the world, and see it, but they're constantly evolving and seeing the everything they're adding now with the new visitor center, et cetera. So that's the thing I always think, I don't go there enough. And I do go there, but I don't go there enough. And I can't wait to get back out there.
Sure. Yes. I mean, I think we talk sometimes about kind of being a tourist in your own town to let you kind of update being an advocate for Midland. So I appreciate that very much. Tell me about kind of the broader impact of the firm's work. Kind of what areas do you work in? Where do we see you most visibly in Midland?
Well, you won't see us ourselves very visibly simply because it's our job to help our clients make things happen.
Certainly.
So when we work with nonprofits, you hopefully don't see us at all.
Sure.
We're behind the scenes helping them make whatever project happen that they're making, and we really do not want to stand in front of them. But and then we think of businesses forming, businesses merging, businesses taking on a new line of work. It's really fun to get to find out what someone's big idea is and watch them make it happen. And we are so privileged at our firm to work with big thinkers out in the community who are doing big things and making things happen. And I love just kind of knowing I knew it when it was a little tiny idea and now it's a big thing. But then there's also these things that maybe you don't hear about, but it's really important to the people involved to handle a situation or to help their personal goals and dreams come true, to build a business that was their whole life's dream and work to do.
Sure. That's one of my favorite parts about my role as well, is really getting to kind of bring the form or the system or the function to an idea, right? To help them and watch that grow into something much bigger, or to expand into something much bigger. Tell me about, this is my favorite question. Could you tell me about a time that a really unanticipated challenge came up and it forced you to level up or grow your skill set or change your perspective, or sometime that really challenged you professionally, and how did you navigate that?
Oh, there's been so many, because I feel like that's how we all grow. Otherwise,
Absolutely.
we're still doing the same thing we did at the very beginnings of our career. And there's some I can't talk about because they remain confidential. But one that I'm excited to talk about, because it involves the Midland Business Alliance as well, is when our firm was going to grow quite a bit. There was another law firm in town that was going to be closing. Many of the attorneys over there and staff were coming over to join us. And all of a sudden, we had to figure out how to be a team basically twice as big as we were. We had to integrate new ideas, new ways of doing things. We had to build trust. Sure. We had to continue to make sure that our client service was uninterrupted during all of that time.
Sure.
And, and I know the Midland Business Alliance itself has had its own circumstances like that. But I remember when we were saying, we're going to do this, we're going to put this band together. And the first thing we thought was, how are we going to announce it? And we announced it at a Wake Up Midland.
Perfect.
And it was so fun because the other side of the, call it merger, was down as a sponsor. And so we staged it. So I came up and interrupted. And that was not my comfort zone at all, because as an attorney, you're very proper. You speak within rules. And now everyone's going to think I'm a lunatic who's yelling in the middle of Wake Up Midland. But it was great fun. And it was a great kickoff to leaving your comfort zone and working in new ways with new people to make something happen you could not make alone. And so I would say that one of those bigger career moments wasn't practicing law in that moment, but was running the business and building community.
Absolutely. And certainly we find those challenges can be in a fun space too, and force us to grow in a way that maybe isn't so conventional to the profession. So I appreciate that. We talk a lot in Midland about the accessibility of leadership, so that, you're walking through the grocery store and you're seeing your CEO, or, enjoying Tunes by the Tridge or some other community event. And you really get to see the folks that are leading our community, both internal to companies and external. And so one of the ways that we see our leaders give back so much is either through Leadership Midland or Wake Up Midland or something like that. So could you share with me maybe a time when that became applicable for you, right? You are helping to mentor, or you are seeing a young attorney and being able to support them in that way.
Well, I was 24 years old when I came to town, and I was working for one of the lions of Midland, Philip Van Dam and Bill Barker, and they were mentoring me, people who had made things happen on a national and international scale before. Yeah. And they did a great job of showing me, telling me, teaching me that I can do all those things too. And then they introduced me to people that I would not have met as quickly around town or known who they were. And that just made clear to me in a way that I don't think a lot of people know how accessible leadership is in Midland. Absolutely. And how much the historical leadership, the current leadership, the future leadership wants to connect and wants to mentor each other. I named some people at the beginning of the conversation, of this question about who were older than I am who mentored me, but I feel like our younger colleagues mentor us too. I think about when I work with Patrick Schefsky, my partner now. He's quite a bit younger than I am. He is very eager not only to do the work and advocate for his clients, but very eager to give back to the community and just is always in favor of having a good time. And Andy Thompson, who also is younger than I am, but I've learned so much from him about just pacing yourself and calmly analyzing a problem bit by bit and having the confidence you're going to get to the end. He's absolutely the person you want in a room to just calm it down and find the solution. And so being mentored by people who are by the calendar less experienced but have something else to offer than what I have has been a great opportunity of living and working in Midland and getting to know all the people who are making things happen.
I really appreciate that. I talk a lot in our smaller circles. Part of my professional journey was to spend time with the Youth Action Council at the Community Foundation. And in that experience, learned quite a bit from my younger colleagues and middle and high school kids. I've always said as a part of that role, gosh, our community is in wonderful hands. We've got some brilliant kids who are really ready to lead.
Absolutely.
So, cool experience. Loved that role. And then, we talk about Midland and accessibility of leadership here. Obviously, we're always drawing on different resources, a podcast, a book that maybe changed your perspective. Anything you'd like to share on that?
Well, I mean, you started with why, and Simon Sinek, and I'm just a why person. But since you started there, I'm going to go somewhere else. I think anybody in business is going to mention how to win friends and influence people, or a work that certainly was influenced by that work, because you think about that focus on other people and succeeding by focusing on helping other people get what they need and want. Yes. It's hard to top that one. And while I'm always reading for work, and I've the last couple of years really gotten better about reading for pleasure and reading outside of work, that's the one you just keep coming back to. It's a classic for a reason. Yeah,
absolutely. I really appreciate you taking the time to share a little bit of your journey with me and to learn more about the firm and more about your colleagues. And so thank you so much for spending the time.
Thank you for having me.